that's what we'll do. We'll just need the receipts like we did, and we'll pay out accordingly.
So then I'll have to get receipt for the flour, okay?
How many baskets are on streetlight poles?
Pardon?
How many are on streetlight poles?
There was 130 of them here a couple years ago, 3 years ago. I don't know.
How many more poles do we have?
I wanna say there's like 20 more?
I figured it's about 122, 124.
Or was it 14 more? Something like
14 more, maybe. I don't
14
think it was
more.
20.
I think we should probably count them one more time and just make sure, cause we got brackets for the whole works.
They finally came?
Well, we ordered them, I gotta check, make sure that they.
14 more than what there was there before?
Yeah, I was just on,
a few more
just on
poles.
43. But we should probably count them again just to make sure.
Okay. Now, here's another question. Are the Lions going to water again?
The Lions had a meeting this last weekend, and they said it's very difficult for them to get people to work at this anymore. And they're also concerned with the safety of doing it from a truck. And if they had something like a gator type thing that had a bigger thing that holds water in it, one person could do it. Right now they have to have 2 people, one that stands in the back of the truck and one that drives the truck. And then they have to drive the truck up on the sidewalk, which isn't safe and everything. So they're saying, you know, if they could get a safer vehicle to use, it'd be easier for them to have only one person, you know, to water the flowers in. And they also are saying that they've been getting, you know, we pay them $2,000 a year to do this, and they've been getting that since the beginning of time. And they always take that money and turn it around and donate it back either to the pool or the park or some other project that's going on. You know, they always use that money to go back onto city projects and stuff. But they're saying that they think they should get a raise also in the amount they get for doing that, because you've added a lot more baskets and it's a lot of years' time that they haven't had an increase in the amount that they get. And I don't know if you could rent one of those gator things from M&M, or if they would let you use one, you know, temporarily. But if it's every day for how many days? 90 days at least?
But that's a large amount of water they take.
Well, they talked about needing like a, how big a tank do you have now?
Right now it's 320 gallons.
They need, they figured, and that they can water everything with that one tank, I think. So if you, if there's a gator or something that can hold a big tank.
It's a lot of water. But at the haul it.
Yeah, you'd have to pull
About
it
a
trailer.
trailer, about 100 gallons all you're gonna get,
Yeah.
maybe to hold on a
Put a
gator.
submersible pump inside, put it on a wand and drive water. That's a lot of work for one person.
Well, the city guys get, the way it is now, the night before, the city guys get the truck ready to go and the tank is in there and they get the generator going and the wand, and we've got the safety bar on the back of the truck, and we've got a harness that people are supposed to wear. And you put the fertilizer in, or whatever. So it's all ready when, you know, when the Lions get there in the morning or in the evening, whenever they do it, the truck's ready to go. I imagine that part could stay the same, except for the fact that they say with the truck it's not very safe. They'd like to have you come up with some other way to do it that's safer.
The last 2 years now, last year they went from Friday morning until Monday morning without watering. They were just about dead. I thought they were gonna die. Then I called somebody. Well, I called you tonight.
Yep.
And they just don't have very many members. And some of them can't do it in the morning. They used to do it every morning, and so I think some of them were doing it at night, weren't they?
Yeah, some are doing it in the afternoon, some are doing it in the mornings.
And that's bad to water them at night.
In the early evening?
Pardon?
In the early evening hours, it's bad?
Yeah, it's not good.
Well, am I right
I mean, they have to start so early and then go to work out of town, they have to, it's hard for them to do that, or they're retired and, well, the few that are able to do the job are still working, you know, and some of the older ones can't do it except to maybe drive.
It's up to you and the dog.
Me and the dog.
Alex can drive.
Well,
You can't water them all.
we'll probably have to go back to using the, public works people. We did that for a few years.
Oh, that's something that we can work on here for the next month or two. We're not gonna have
Yeah.
baskets hanging for a couple months, so
At
let's see
least,
if we can't come up with some kinda, or
hopefully,
maybe some kinda collaborative effort of a couple of groups of,
Yeah.
you know,
hopefully then the bars are gonna be here for the polls.
so. Hopefully.
You know, and the way we're doing it with giving the, you know, it might be better if we just say, we're going to buy X number of baskets at so many dollars each. You know, rather than buy material for you to create flowers with, you know? Because you're using that in more ways than just for the city. You know, like you said, you're selling them, so.
I'm selling more baskets to get more money for the complete.
But,
Yeah.
but when you look at where the city dollars are going, it's one thing to say, yeah, the city bought 100 flower baskets for $30 each. That's a finite thing, we bought those baskets and we're using it as part of our tourism decoration for the downtown. But to give you, to buy those starter plants, you're gonna get more than 100 baskets out of those starter plants.
I am, huh?
You know.
You wouldn't wanna lay some money on it.
Well, I'm sure you must be if you're able to sell more, you know.
I think what the auditors asked for are receipts, and I think Kathy's point is, what we would do is divide the money up as to how many baskets that would create for us, and then you just show us receipts for that. Be a little easier for us to show it to him. And I think it just eliminates any confusion that they might have when it comes to the audit, being able to say, you bought 100 baskets, or what, 3,800? $38 a piece.
$38 a piece for 100 baskets,
And
or
then,
whatever it is.
yeah, and then you
Like
just
a
show
one receipt.
receipts for those 100 baskets, and we're good. If the council's good with that, it's just an easier way of accounting for it, to show it to the auditor.
Because if we're just buying you material to create baskets, then where is that material when we're done? You know, when the season's done, do we get the baskets back, do the chains come back, do the liners come back, do we keep all that because we paid for all that? Or no, we don't, we're just getting the flowering pot, that's what we're getting.
It's just a lot easier to just cut you one, get a check like that.
Well, it's a flower fund in the bank down there.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes no difference to me. How you do it.
But the thing is that you are the flower fund, you as an individual are the fund. And it makes it a little bit tricky when we're paying you, you know, that's
I'm
why.
gonna pay somebody else.
Well, but it makes more sense to say we're buying 100 baskets at $38 a basket. That's more clear cut and clean. We're buying them from you, you know, because you're growing them, you're creating them.
For your fiscal allocations is what you're saying, so you know where to put these funds and where the funds came from and how it's,
Yeah,
Well, what it
how it hits
does,
the budget and all that kind of stuff.
more so, it shows transparency to the public that that's what you're buying. And it's not like you're getting extra money, because we know you're not.